Hello, thank you very much for tuning into this section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca. Also, I am doing in-person readings in Herkimer, New York. Google that if you want to, Herkimer, New York. If you're close to there, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll give you details. Also, if you're interested in getting a reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. That being said, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Libra? King and Queen of Pentacles first out. So something very stable. I'm going to say very stable. Yeah, I feel like you got the Ten of Pentacles in what you're thinking. So whatever's coming on here, I feel like you want it to work a certain way. Other people may not have the same view as you. I don't know that they need to. Okay, so you have a possibility coming in. You want this situation to be more stable. Libra is very open to change, very malleable, can work through things, can like, okay, we got to, this is how we did it up to now, but we need to change, we need to change. If you need to change, you change. Libra, to me, makes sensible changes. When Libra's in its power moment, they're very careful, kind of like, we're not going to just do that just to do that. Will this bring us closer? How much are we going to get out of this? How much is this going to improve things? Is this going to kind of recalibrate the situation to make it go more where it needs to be versus where it's been? There's a lot of thought that goes into change, in my opinion, for Libra. I don't feel like you're just willy-nilly with it. Certain things like, you know, trying something new for dinner, that's one thing. But that I don't feel like that's what the situation is. This is more about, you know, this is how people get along. This is what actually works for this situation, more like a work situation, possibly a family connection, something like that. Because I feel like whoever these people are that you're connected to, they have value, and they're kind of, it's like value beyond just like the normal, just anybody off the street. This is something where you're like, I work with these people, or I live with these people, or these are people that I constantly I'm going to have to deal with for the years going forward. So I want things to stabilize. I want things to make sense. And I feel like quietly I've been doing a lot of work with this. Quietly. What do we mean like quietly? The Moon card is making me feel like the situation is not so much a mystery to you, but you're very careful about people knowing that you're a part of this or you're a part of that. You might be moving in the shadows, but it might be one of those things where if this is gonna go better, there's a lot of moving pieces here of people who just like what they like. It doesn't matter if it's right, they just expect certain things. And it's kind of like they're doing things that aren't right, and they just expect to keep being able to get away with it. So if they realize that I'm standing up against that, or I'm helping evolve this in a different way, they're going to come for me, or they're going to come for the people who are helping me. So we got to be very careful. I feel like I've been very careful. I've been working in the shadows because it's the only way I can feel that it's going to make better sense. It's more reliable, that it'll actually work out, that it'll change things. And I'm making slow changes. I'm slowly removing blocks. It's kind of like if there was like a locked door, if like it was a mansion and there was many locked doors, I'm slowly unlocking doors and leaving them unlocked without people knowing. I'm opening up communication where people don't realize it's happening. And I feel like this is communication that should be okay anyway, but certain people, once they realize other people are talking, they get very bent out of shape. So we're just working in the shadows, releasing blocks, releasing blocks, releasing blocks. And by doing it this way, we're not having a tower moment. We're not having big blow-ups, and we don't really need them, is what I kind of get. The thing is, you are quite effective, because I get that this situation was very chaotic, and I get that the Wheel of Fortune was keeping it more out of balance than in balance. I feel like anytime some positive energy came in, something came in to shut it down. and it even seemed like when things should work out and this should be good and that should make sense, it didn't work out. The Wheel of Fortune came in and kind of broke it. You coming in is another thing of the Wheel of Fortune energy, but this is more of a positive thing. Healing coming in, that's the whole purpose for this. People might not like the way you're doing things, but you know, sometimes they just don't need to. There are certain things here that you are putting in the correct place. The correct placements is maybe how I'm supposed to say that. There's correct placements of things, and you are able to do that. Once they're where they're supposed to be, I do get that they're going to stay there. So I'm getting this analogy of kind of like, you know, I want to be careful with this. It's like, say you have people in control, people in the middle, and people who just have to go along with things. The people in control are not understanding what the people in the middle are really doing. And maybe you've been looked at as one of the people down near the bottom for the longest time, but you're moving up. You've been giving the people in control the proof and the truth about what's actually been going on in this middle section. I hope this makes sense the way I'm saying this. Because like people in control, people who are in the middle, and people are at the bottom. And the people at the top don't understand what the people in the middle are really doing. And you've been able to not only tell them, but show them proof about, oh, this is what's actually happening. And when you've done this, it's started to really change how the people at the top want things done. This is a good thing, but I feel like once it's done, it's done. This is a good thing, but once it's done, it's done. The whole situation may change over this. And it may not look like it from the outside, but from the inside, this reminds me of this. So people, like, so forget the people at the top, people in the middle, people in the bottom. And the people in the middle are doing some wacky things. Not all of them, but some of them. It's almost like maybe they're not getting, so if this was a work situation, maybe it's like upper management, middle management, lower management. Upper management may take the power away from middle management. They're technically still there, but they don't have the power it looks like they have. And then people from lower management are moving up and actually taking over those jobs, but it just looks like we have a lot of middle management people when we really don't, because the people who are still there that were there don't have the accessibility or the ability to do what they used to. I feel like that might be going on here. So it may not look it from the outside, but if you're on the inside, you can see it. And you can be like, okay, this person still works here, but they don't have access to even a third of what they used to. And they don't have the ability to change things like they used to. Because there's a lot of devastation and people changes and towers coming down in the environment. Not directly to you, but there's changes. Big changes with the death card. Tower hitting. People feeling bad. People going, oh, let me just fix this. I could just do it this way. Or, you know, you can let me do this. I made a couple missteps. Let me fix it. A lot of this is going on deaf ears is what I'm getting. There's things where people are... I get this too, the self-care here. You might be able to be of assistance to some of these people, but I feel like people are going to be trying to save their own skin. I'm an intuitive reader, so I keep looking at this like this should be a positive card, but I kind of feel like people are going to be trying to save their own skin here. And they might keep their jobs, for example, if it's a work situation, but they won't have access to what they used to. You're going to see what's going on here. You're going to probably be more closer to the intel, closer to like what's actually going on. Doesn't mean you're in the middle of it, but you're probably going to know. When this comes in, when this energy comes in, it's kind of like, okay, this is going well. I feel like there might be this little bit of a panic moment for you, maybe, kind of like, well, now that we got this far, now we got to make sure it follows through. You don't have to do anything is what I'm getting. It may feel like you do, but I'm getting like the situation, the stage is already set. Things are just being laid out for what's already been chosen. It's kind of like I feel like probably a lot of you are aware of this. It's kind of like when they put out a job at certain places, like certain companies will put out a job, like we're hiring for this. And then, like I've seen it happen a couple times anyway, where people have told me that like they're putting out for this job, but just so you know, I already got it. They already told me. They're just doing their due diligence to validate whatever they have to validate. So the situation is already done. Choices have already been made. They're just doing their due diligence to make it look good. Excuse me. The advice or the possibility you could do is just take it for the healing moment that it is and be comfortable with what's going on and watch it play out. It may be hard to do that. You'll be able to hear what's going on. You'll be able to kind of get more intel, but I feel like it's already been chosen. It reminds me of this happening before. I've been at places where like people way up have made decisions and the people in the middle are just carrying it out, but the people in the middle didn't have any decision-making power. They just had to carry out what was already chosen. And it looked like the middle people made the decisions, but they didn't. Let the situation heal. You could aid in the healing of it and just, helping it usher in what's already been chosen. The difference is it may look like when you have this panic moment, like I need to get in there so they know that this is happening, they know that that's happening so they can make good decisions. Decisions have already been made. Realizing that and kind of putting your ear to the ground going, okay, I think we've already made decisions. Where is this going? And then helping it go where it should go might help you a little bit better. I hope I'm not missing that too much because it may look like there's still decisions to be made and I'm getting they've already been made. There's going to be this, I don't know if this is really an uprising or people are going to try to like buck against it. It's not going to work. It's a short moment. People are going to try to make things go backwards or make some type of change. It's a short moment. I feel like they're just kind of letting you know that it's going to show up as if people are going to be able to derail or change direction or something. It's a short moment and it doesn't change anything. It's going to happen is what I get. And then after things stabilize again, then you'll be able to pull forward and give your 2 cents. I feel like you'll probably be asked for your 2 cents because then there's going to be another level of changes after this. How are we going to know the difference between when you get this panic moment versus when there's actual, like how are you going to know the difference with that? How does that come across differently? There's not going to be any secrets at that point. When there's still secrets behind the situation, like there's things moving and not everybody knows about it, that's not the time. There's going to be a time here where things are more on the forefront. People are more open to information. People are more sharing of information. It's not so secretive. That's when you're going to have more power. That's when things are going to move more in your favor. So it's like when things are behind the scenes versus when they're out front. When they're still behind the scenes, I get the decisions have already been made. Let it play out. When things are like more in the forefront, like we're going to be doing things differently, we're letting everybody know before we do it that we're going to be doing things differently. That's when you can kind of get in there and get more information flowing and get things churning around a bit better. These new things are going to stick for a while. There's a lot of earth coming in with this. Once the changes are made, they're going to stay for quite a while. I don't see it changing for quite a while. After the fact, there's more information about what's already been chosen, but also be aware of that. After the fact, there's going to be a lot of like giving information of what's already been chosen. There will be some negotiating down the line, but most of it will already have been done. Okay. Especially with the backing of Earth, I don't want to miss this last part. I feel like this makes sense. The Wheel of Fortune coming in like this is telling me not everything is random, but there's only some pieces that are. It's going to look like things are changing very quickly, but with the Queen of Cups going in with this, she knows what she's doing. Just because it looks like it's random to other people doesn't mean it was. She knows, she's known, she's been planning, she knows what she wants. So whatever's going on here, the people you care about are going to be safe. I'm getting with this card. And it's going to look like things are random. It's going to look like things are going really fast, but it just looks fast because that's how they want it to look. I do get with the Ace of Pentacles here and all the Pentacles coming in. By the time we get to that part, most things have already been decided. The big things definitely have. The big things already have. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.